These are the most unused features inside of ERLC. Make sure you like and subscribe if you do enjoy, and let me know in the comments if you use any of these, but let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first one is actually to do with the DOT team. So if I join onto that, spawn in a car and head over to the highway, some of you guys might already know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, well, that's also not a problem because that's the point of this video. These are unused features that are in the game that when they were added, everyone was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool, but now they just don't really get used. I don't know why I've got a snowplow on my truck, but yes, I am talking about the highway boards. There's one there and there's one here. The highway boards, obviously on the highway, are so unused. Sometimes you might see them in a public server that have something on them, but someone probably put that on like hours and hours ago, like way before you were even in the server. But if we come up here, you can see it actually is pretty cool. When they added this, a lot of people were like, oh my god, ERLC adding seatbelts, which crazy, but I guess kind of could make sense. Like if you crash into a tree and you don't have a seatbelt on, maybe it flies you out of your vehicle and you die. That's beside from the point. As you can see, we can put like a road work ahead, and then it puts that there. It says slow down, road work ahead, and you can change this to whatever you want, but this just does not really get used. I gotta change it again because apparently there's a time limit, but yeah, that feature is very underused. I have not seen anyone properly use this. Like, you can't really roleplay using this, I guess, but it is pretty cool. Like, I guess the realistic use for that would be like if there's a crash on the highway or something and there's like cones blocking the road, someone should go over there and like change it so people know far in advance. I guess that would be the most realistic use for it, but even so, I don't really see anyone doing that. So yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments if you use that, but let's move on to the next one. And well, I don't even need to change teams for this one, and it's a very subtle one, but it is the key fob here. I do not see people using this. I never see people locking their car, like even in the strictest roleplay servers, I don't see people get out of their car, lock it, and then walk off to do what they want to do. And I don't see them come up to it, unlock it, get in, and drive off. It just doesn't happen. It's a cool feature, but I guess it is one of them features that it just doesn't really, it's got no point really. Like, no one really asked for it. We don't really need it. I guess the coolest part of it is the car alarm, but it only goes off like 3 times, so there's not really any point in it because it's kind of useless. For example, if you're in a car park, someone sets off the car alarm, you have like 3 seconds to look around and find what car it is, and then it just turns off again anyway. So it's a little bit useless, but I guess it's a cool feature. The only reason people really use this is to drive someone else's vehicle when you unlock it. That's about it. No one really locks it to stop people getting in the passenger seat, etc. So yeah, I don't know why people don't use it, but I guess it's just because it's not really got much of a use. Again, let me know in the comments if you use that one. And while the next one is back on the civilian team, on the roleplay jobs. Now this one admittedly is kind of the same with a lot of the roleplay jobs, but it's the construction job. I don't see people using it. This job is a decent way to get money in quite a fun way as well. Like, it's quite fun to construct things on the construction site, but if you're doing it by yourself, it can take quite a long time, and also it can get pretty boring. There's only 2 variations of buildings to build from, so it does get pretty boring like after you've built them both like twice. So then it's just like the same, and it's really repetitive because you're just kind of doing the same stuff. If there's a big team of people, then it can be really fun, but on your own it's not great. And this is just a job that I don't see many people using at all. And not only that job, but we have the postal job here. Again, I cannot remember the last time I really saw someone using this job in a public server. Like even in a private server, I can't remember the last time I saw someone using it. And you could say that with pretty much every single roleplay job. Like, sometimes you see the gas station ones, yes, that's fine, that's acceptable. Things like the garbage collector and the barbershop, we'll talk about that later, but no one really uses the garbage collector job anymore. Like, it was really cool when it was added. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, that is awesome, but now no one uses it, and I don't really know why, to be honest. And that does take me on to my next one, and that of course is in Springfield, and it is the barbershop, as I just mentioned. Like, this is the most useless thing added to the game. Like, if we come over here, have a sit down, it's pretty cool. It is cool. I you can do all this. I can give myself a nice mustache. Let's get like that kind of color. Look at that. Lovely. I look absolutely brilliant. But who uses this? Like who even comes here? Like, people just do this for like their own avatar, right? Like, no one really actually comes in here and just changes it here. People just change it on their actual physical Roblox avatar. Now, how do I take this mustache off? Because I do not want it here forever. Now, I think the reason this was added was for the Philips thing. So if you guys don't know, there was a big Philips kind of event in Roblox, and ERLC was kind of taking part in that. So I suspect that they probably got paid quite a bit of money, and they looked at it and they thought, you know what, let's just add a barbershop. There's no harm in adding the barbershop, and let's just take part in this because we get some money. And who doesn't want money, right? So I don't blame the developers. I think that's probably the reason it was added, because there's not really any other use for the barbershop. I guess it is just a little extra building along the street though that just does look quite cool. So I guess, as I said, there's no harm in them adding it. It just doesn't really get used, and that's fair enough. I don't really know why people would want to use the barbershop all the time when there's all these other buildings they could use instead. And well, the next one that I want to talk about is one that I can't actually show you, and that is for the exact reason, and it is safes. Now, safes were added a good few updates ago now, and you could find them in random buildings and you could rob them, but I have never ever seen a safe really when I'm just casually playing ERLC. Like, literally never. They are so hard to find. It's literally the biggest waste of time and the most useless thing in the world. It's so difficult to find the safes. Like, you can look around the map for ages and not find a safe because they're just so hard to find. You can find them in houses sometimes, yes, but in random buildings you just can't find them. A lot of you guys probably won't even know that they exist, that you can rob them in random buildings, but you can find them in gas stations, the cafe, the jewelry store, literally anywhere. You can find a safe and you can rob it, but you can't find a safe because they hardly ever spawn, and it's just a waste of time. So again, safes very unused simply because nobody can find them. And the final thing I want to talk about in this video is one of the more interesting ones, one of the cooler additions to ERLC that still just does not get used, and that is over by the tool store. Where did that guy come from? Someone set off the fire alarm, great. But of course I'm talking about the spray can. Probably, look at this is insane. Look how many options you can choose from with all of these different things. And the coolest part about this is you can literally create a mafia. You can change the color of it, so let's go with like a nice blue, for example, like that. And then if you go to the spray can, everything will be in your mafia's blue color, so people can see that like your mafia was like here. That's just really cool. And these are actually like high quality. Like, look at these, they look so nice. Police officer here, we've got like a fried egg. I don't know why that's there, but these are really cool. They definitely don't last very long, that is one thing that's certain, but the spray can just doesn't get used. And again, it's one of them. Why is my mustache back? I cleared that. Oh my goodness me. But yeah, it's just one of them things that it's cool, but like, who is actually gonna use it? Like, it doesn't really have a use, I guess. There's no point in it, but it's just pretty cool. Anyway, let me know in the comments, do you use any of these, and is there anything else that I missed in this video? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But thank you very much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.